It takes a lot of protection.
Let me repeat what I just said to my guest today, Megan, everybody. You got to remember to click the dang record button. Yeah. Okay. So let me make this bigger. Yeah, it's crazy. And like we're talking about, as we're recording this is going to be our guest today. And Megan and I go way back. We're not doing the actual radio show interview yet. I'm doing the pre-interview production thing, which is just us bullshitting around. So I can say that on the Zoom recording because that's on the internet. I can't swear on a radio show, which is unfortunate. Okay, give me a test there, girl.
All right, how do I sound?
You're coming through loud and clear. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm a little bit, give me a synopsis because Sandy opened up your bullets. Please give me a synopsis so I can just write it in my notes because I got two. Let me see here. Let me see if she's got this open. I got so many things going on. And I don't have my right hand person with me at the moment. She'll be here in just a second. Hold on. I got to take these off for a second. I'll see you over here in a second. She'll get it. All right, so I got to go. Your bullets, where the hell's my Gmail?
My bullets are fairly categorical. From what I know, we're going to talk about being a millennial mom, working in the.
Give me that again.
Oh, being a millennial mom.
Yep.
Balancing career,
Hold
school,
on.
kids.
Yep, balance and life. We'll just make that balance in life. I'll just give that to you and then you can just go. See, this is all the behind the scenes stuff that we're recording on video now that nobody ever knew until 2023. Like when Megan came with us in 2012, 2011, when we first started.
We're babies.
We were just punks. I was still a punk and she was a kid. All right. That's how. So
that
that's
sounds accurate.
Yeah. Okay. So give me number 3. You got balance in life, being a millennial mom.
And then just how health, emotions, and beliefs.
Excuse me?
Influence that. How health, emotions, and beliefs influence choices. Challenge choices and change, right?
Health, emotion, and
beliefs.
Belief. Yeah, belief. I love it. Faith, baby. And then your 4. Did you have a 4th bullet? Or that'll be plenty. Believe me, that's a lot.
That wraps it up.
Okay. So remember, we're going to do kind of with a mindset of because it's been so long, and I apologize for that. But the whole, how did I describe it yesterday? Is like the high altitude. It'd be like your first time on this show, because you are the first time on this show, even though it's still me. So we'll just play it that way. All right, let me pull this up. I got tablets, computers, and I'm still feeling like when I am at the studios in Lansing or in Kimberly, I have multiple big screens that I've set up, and it works so nice. Here, you have multiple tiny screens, and it's like it's a little bit like, am I okay? You know how it is with a confidence thing, but it's
when you're not in your space and your zone. And
well, the thing is though, Megan, the dream has always been to do this on the road and be comfortable doing it. So the only way we can get better at these things, right, is by doing them. And so it's like, suck it up, buttercup. I mean, you want to.
Now you're practicing.
Now you're doing the dang thing. So let's get going. Sandy, are you ready?
Hi, Sandy.
She's in the other room.
Oh. That'll be a one-way hi.
Yeah, you could say hi to her a little later.
In a few minutes.
I don't know if she could. I don't think the cameras. The other thing that's kind of crazy is the computer's so close to my mug and the camera's so close, it's like my mug, it feels like I'm like this giant headed man. And it's like, every little pimple.
Dab something on
Nah,
your nose.
nah. Yeah, I'm sure.
So how can I put you at ease? How can I help you?
Just be you.
Yeah,
Just be
all
you.
right.
Peekabooism, just be relaxed. Let's have some fun. And that's it. Don't, this is easy stuff. I mean, like when we get done, you're going to go, God dang, that was fun. And that's why we do this stuff. It's like we worked
Change
for,
some lives.
well, let's change some lives, but we worked for a long time to get to this point so that we could do this stuff, to have the freedom and the availability to do this. And so this is a blessing. And so it's like, accept what you have in this world and go for it. And don't, fear is part of it, but that builds eustress. You know the word eustress, good stress. I mean, do it. I mean, so let's do it. All right, here we go. You may hear music, you may not. Let's get this bad boy going. You ready, babe?
Film the beginning, is that what you?
No, you don't have to do that. You can do it after you're done doing your stuff. You want to go do your stuff?
I want to grab my hair. Take this out of here. So we're gonna turn down.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see you in about 10 minutes. Blondie,
What?
I'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks, babe. Here we go there, Mega Merchant. Let's do some radio. Oh, hold on. Silence phone. God dang. Have I ever done this before? Not often on Sundays. This is one of the
Not in
few-
Arizona, right?
Arizona. This is number 2. I may do a third one tomorrow. So it's like we're working. I mean,
Nice.
yeah, it is really nice, actually.
So just to clarify, we're going to go to about 11 and then we'll have a little 10 minutes after to chat.
Yeah, and I'll give you if you the other beauty of having the video, Megan, is if I do this or if I do this,
Mhm.
I just little hand signals to you that we're getting close. So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Okay. Got this here. Yeah, so can you see me do that? Okay, if I do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because I have you like really small right now because I'm looking at all this other
Oh, okay.
in the background. Here we go. You're gonna be awesome. Last week, Colin Milner was here. And it's like, we're stepping back in the time machine time with Tom Matt show. I mean, Colin Milner is the bomb. ICAA founder, talked about all kinds of different things, International Council of Active Aging. And Colin is just Colin. I mean, he's in Palm Springs. He just got done playing pickleball. I said he got his butt kicked by some 87-year-old guy. And I said, good for you, man. Keep playing with the pros like that and you'll get better. So, we called that one Urgent Challenges of Our Population Growing Older. And I'm going to emphasize one more time before I bring in my fantastically awesome guest here in a second. Megan Merchant will be with us in a minute. If you want to keep saying, I'm getting old, I'm doing this, I feel old, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. Good for you. Go for it. I mean, that's your choice. Choice plus challenge equals change, right? So I'm all about growing older. Yeah, I got a little cranky knees because I'm an active guy and I'm growing older and, you only get so many miles on the dang thing. And it's like, so accept it, do what you're going to do. Okay. And I'm playing with other things around here because we're recording this from North Scottsdale, Arizona. Boy, aren't we something special? All right, Megan Merchant, as a health and wellness educator and coach, and I've got this big bio here, and it's everything's different for me today, everybody. So bear with me here. This is gonna be good radio. Megan Merchant has been a positive influence on her community for over 2 decades. She's been a positive influence on our radio program because she was one of the very first guests we had way back in the day when she was a Cubster and I was a rookie. And now we're like, I'm like kind of thinking I'm a little bit more of an old pro, and she's a like mom with like teenagers, and so it's all good. Megan, and I'm going to condense this bio down here so I can get to the meat of the whole deal. But Megan has served her community in many roles, best known for developing and leading over 75 collegiate courses in dance, fitness, health, wellness for a diverse student base at the University of New Mexico. She lives in New Mexico, obviously. Transitioning beyond the educational sector, Megan is looking to network with masterful professionals who seamlessly blend education. Hey, welcome back to the show. We're going to be blending some education and seamlessly coaching delivery, as her bio says, in leadership settings. We'll get you all the bio info, but this is an amazing person who is, I'm welcoming back to the show. Now, I'm almost done, Megan, so bear with me. I'm looking at your bio here. She currently resides in New Mexico, as I said, with her husband and 2 daughters. We're going to talk about this because this is kind of a millennial mom show a little bit, but it's a lot more than that. With over 20 years experience, Megan passionately coaches and educates others in group and individual wellness to foster positive, sustained behavior for enhanced life quality and longevity. I like that sentence a lot. Megan is known for her work designing and leading collegiate courses in dance, fitness, wellness for over 10 years at the University of New Mexico, higher ed. Featured as a warm-up lead, conference presenter, all this stuff, designs facilities, live, online. She's very, very multifaceted and super cool. I mean, just a, another daughter from another person, just bringing her into the family. I want to welcome back. Well, welcome to the Tom Mack Show from the Boomers Rock Show. We got Megan Merchant. Megan, welcome back.
Hi, Tom. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to hear from you, talk to you as you read that list. It's like, wow. I was feeling a little shaky following Colin because Colin is a masterful professional. So thanks for giving me a little boost.
When you follow a rock star on stage, like what we were saying just before in our little pre-production talk, how can I help you get better? No, Colin's great. You're awesome. It's amazing that we have been seeing and listening and recording episodes with guests that were with us way in the beginning. And it's just great to see you and great to reconnect with you. And I'm going to have you back as much as possible because we got a ton to talk about. So let's get busy. You know the drill. You got to give the next 5 minutes or so of Megan, and this is your life with your children. I mean, I can't believe that your kids are teenagers, and looking forward to seeing you guys. We're actually going to see Megan next weekend. Believe it or not, we're hoping to have dinner together in Albuquerque, New Mexico next weekend. We'll see about that.
Beautiful.
We're gonna do our best. But anyways, This Is Your Life for the listeners. We've got a lot of new stations, a lot of different ways we're doing this. Thank you so much for joining us, and go for it. Let's
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. So I think what's really unique to my story is my parents were first generation college. All of their family were Iowa farmers, like hundreds and hundreds of years of Iowa farmers. So they decided to step out and do something different. My mom went into real estate. My dad was an engineer, and we moved to New Mexico, which seemed very foreign, but it was just my sister and I and my parents growing up, and I loved TV.
When you, I don't remember that. How old were you when you moved from Iowa to New Mexico? Because boy, what a culture shift that must have been.
Yeah, I was 2.
Okay.
So I didn't notice. But we would go visit, 2 weeks every summer. And I just was fascinated by the differences in the environment, in the job opportunities, and the way people talk to each other and lived. And, with 2 working parents, I was a teen in the 90s. I watched a lot of TV, a lot of reality TV, a lot of old movies. And I fell in love with dance, because people look like they felt so good. So I went into dance in college, but I had a series of health issues. I damaged my ankles, and then I had a car accident. And then the 3rd year I had cancer. And I think the world is telling me not to be a dancer. But I always have retained a passion for movement. But I thought, how can I move but also be healthy? Because when you lose your thyroid, your metabolism is different, your thermoregulation is different. And it's kind of an invisible condition because you feel it more than you see it in other people. So having kids, in college, I met my husband, who's an engineer, and he has always worked. What's that?
Your dad's an engineer and your husband's an engineer. What about that?
we're so complimentary because I'm more, short-term feel good, and my husband is a long-term logical, resourceful person. So we're a good yin and yang, I should say.
What is
But
his name?
yeah,
What is his name?
his name is John,
John.
and he
Okay.
was a student at New Mexico Tech in Socorro because my sister was an engineer. So they were friends, and that's how we met.
Ah,
Otherwise, I never would have met him in my dance.
sister hookup.
Oh, yes. What a great sister. I was telling her I'll be single forever. This is gonna be great. I have career goals, aspirations, and I met him and I was done. We're still married now 23 years.
Good for you.
Yeah. And having a partner like that really influences everything I'm going to say next. Having our girls, it's always with a stable home, stable job. And so it gave me the opportunity to do all these different things that you've listed in my bio.
Right.
Yeah. So here I am now.
What about the girls? What about the girls? Because we got about a minute and a half before we go to break here. Megan Merchant's our guest today, everybody.
So they are now 14 and 17, so 8th grade and 11th grade. And I have to say, for all those millennial moms, they can probably really relate that it's different when they're at home and they need you 24/7. It's different when they go into elementary school, and it's very, very different during COVID and when they're teenagers. So I knock on wood, that I have so much health and wellness background, because I don't know how parents do it without that. Even with that, it was a struggle. So hopefully we'll be able to talk some about that today.
Yeah, that
what
whole
helps you survive.
that's a whole nother show. I mean, we've got again, let me carry this through, Megan, because we're going to come up on break.
Yeah, you
All right.
bet.
Okay, Megan Merchant is our guest. I'm going to call this one today. If you give me a minute. Now, I got that from Megan yesterday. We had a nice, fun conversation about things. But here's some of the topics that we're going to cover. We're going to talk about being a millennial mom, which we've already started doing that. We're going to talk about balance in life, because Megan's gone through a lot of issues, a lot of things have occurred. And I mean, she just mentioned several of them, between ankle, car accident, and cancer. I mean, okay. We're going to talk about health, emotion, and belief, and we're going to carry this all the way through. So happy to have her back. Megan Merchant joining us from her home in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You're listening to the Tom Mann Show. We'll be right back. Save. Turn this up a little bit. That's how easy that is. There's Sandy. She's going to shoot a little video on my phone while just because I want to get a shot of this cluster. You got to keep your computer open, though, babe. All right. And then I'm going to start this segment, and then at the end of the segment, honey, if you want to jump in and say hi to Megan off recording, that'd be cool. All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Let me get this going here. Craig Reed. Okay. Let's rock it. Here we go. Doing radio is so much fun, and now we do video, and it's like, then we edit stuff, and it's like, oh, it's just a riot. Seriously, I like it. It is fun. It is really creative. Being a storyteller, I love being a storyteller. I just enjoy the heck out of it. It's like, okay, well, got a lot to talk about. Here we go. Your Ameriprise financial advisor and our Ameriprise financial advisor is Craig Stiles. He can help you plan for the life you want today and well into the future. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. You can call Craig at 1-800-528-1355. 1-800-528-1355. Local number in mid-Michigan, or are you from wherever? 517-483-4893. 517-483-4893. Craig.stiles@ampf.com. Remember, you can always find these our sponsors and our friends on our website, tommattshow.com, at the bottom of that homepage where you can, and again, Craig and Brock, find their mugs down there, and please utilize their services. His physical offices are located at 2400 Lake Lansing Road, Suite B, as in brilliant Uh-oh. What the frick? Oh, no. I screwed it up. I didn't move my cursor over, or did I? It's recording. Something's wrong. It appears to me, Megan. Oh, shoot. All right, hold on. Got a technical failure. All right. Okay, how's your time right now? What do you got set aside for this interview?
I'm free. I'm good. However
okay.
long it takes.
All right, so for people watching this video, we had a technical failure on my software for recording, which happens. And I am going to restart the whole show because we were recording over top of our track, it appeared. So that's fine. I'm glad you got time. Hey, let's do it again. Dang it. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We're not live, right?
No, we're recording. Well, we're recording on the we are recording on the Zoom call, but my software for the radio program, let me do this. See, people are going to like this stuff, behind the scenes stuff. Dash 1. Save. Okay, I'm not gonna screw around here. But yeah, I was recording over the first track, and it's like, wait a second here. I'm glad I kind of saw it. Click that. Megan, click that. And let's do this again. Let's pull back up. Here we go. I totally apologize, but hey, you know what? It happens. I'm glad I caught it early.
That's okay. It'll be even better. Let's do it again.
Oh, actually, you'll see. It'll be cool. Here we go. Last week, Colin Milner was with us. Urgent challenge of our population growing older. All right, and I want to be clear here, you guys. If you want to go with the whole premise of I'm getting older, that's why I heard I'm getting older. I am, that's fine. You can go that direction. However, I hope that you start thinking about growing older. And that's how we go with Colin. He's the president, founder of the International Council of Active Aging, and a long-term guest on the show. Hadn't been on in a long time. That's the whole thing about the family affair, because Megan Merchant's our guest coming up here. We're going to call this one, If You Give Me a Minute. As a health and wellness educator, Megan has been on the show from the very beginning, and it's been a long time since we've ever recorded. So this is kind of a big deal. It's great to have her here. So bear with me, because she's got kind of a lengthy bio. I'm going to do chunks of it, and then we're going to get into this amazing person here. As a health and wellness educator and coach, Megan Merchant has been a positive influence in our community for over 2 decades. Megan has designed and facilitated courses both in person and online to help individuals and groups reach a higher state of wellness and joy. So great. I mean, when you get done listening to this one, everybody, you're going to know that this is the Energizer Bunny 2023 style. I mean, she's just an unbelievable person. Megan utilizes a variety of methods in a gentle, uplifting, compassionate framework where her clients can be heard and helped in the areas that matter to them. She served her community in New Mexico for a long time, developing, leading over 75 college courses in dance, fitness, health, and wellness for a diverse student base at the University of New Mexico. She's a successful online health educator through her podcast, social media posts, videos, and blogs. I got to put you in touch with Jane Kurth. If you don't know Jane, I got to make sure, I'm going to make a note of that right now. Jane Kurth for Megan Merchant. because Jane Kurth is another one who's an amazing person who's a guest on the show. And so all these cool people that come in this radio program, everybody, we are blessed to have them. During this interview, we're going to talk a little bit about Megan herself and her family and being a millennial mom, because when she started with us 10, 12 years ago, her children were tiny, little kids. Now they're like big people. But we're going to talk about being a millennial mom and a working millennial mom, balance in life. And if we can get to health, emotion, and belief, then I'll be thrilled. I want to welcome back to the radio program her, the lady with 20 years experience, who coaches and networks and does all kinds of good things. And she's so awesome. Megan Merchant. Megan, welcome back.
Hi, Tom. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to see how much we've grown in the past decade and that we're both just more of ourselves. It's such a beautiful thing. So thank you for having me.
My pleasure. More of ourselves. Sweet. I like that. I'm going to write down. You're going to be probably dumping all kinds. You guys going to want to take notes here. That's why it's great. We have a podcast of this. All right, Megan. So kind of the drill, although you go back to the Boomers Rock days. Now we have 5 segments, but they're all still about the same, 10 minutes long. But we still do This Is Your Life. And it's like your chance to share with a lot of new listeners that have never heard you on our show. But please, let's brag about your family. Let's talk about your journey. Talk about you first, and then we'll move into the fam.
You bet. Yeah, This Is Your Life. It's like a game show. Okay, here we go. So my whole family is from generations and generations of farmers in Iowa, but my parents were the first to go to college, and they moved to New Mexico when I was 2 with my sister and I. So we went from a really huge family in Iowa to a very small nuclear family in New Mexico. And being a teen in the 90s with 2 working parents, I always watched TV, reality TV, musicals, and I was quickly attracted to how people felt so good or looked so good as they were dancing, moving, connecting. So in college, I went and did my dance degree, but I had first year, tore out my ankles, second year, had a car accident, third year, I had thyroid cancer, and I thought maybe I should do something different. And it didn't really become different, but just expansive.
Maybe it was the college thing, maybe it wasn't the dance. Maybe it was, if you'd have come to Michigan State University,
I would have been better.
Hey, I'm just saying, I love my Sparties. So it's like, but no, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So here I'll give New Mexico a little cred by saying that, Dr. Len Kravitz in exercise science was here. And I transitioned into my master's degree thinking, okay, I love movement, but I can make movement fitness and I can make it healthy and people can still feel good and move good and figure out what they can do. And my career has always moved that way. What can we do? And how do we move from, gender and age and socioeconomics and location to values? What makes us all the same? What people are craving in terms of emotions, in terms of beliefs, in terms of growth. And so, yeah, what do you want to know next?
Oh my gosh. I want to know about the fam and, your mom and dad. That's having first generation college educated parents is very interesting. I think that's more and more a common phenomenon in our country. Megan Merchant's our guest today, everybody, by the way. Long-term friend, very talented, multifaceted educator. If you give me a minute is what I'm calling this episode. No, let's finish this segment with you talking about your husband and that story and your girls, and let's frame it up, let everybody know who you are as a working millennial mom and a wife and all that. Please go ahead and share that info.
Yeah. So as a millennial mom, I would say, knock on wood, I'm blessed. I met my husband when I was 18. We married at 19 because he was just my opposite, like in every way. So I'm very feel good and he's more rational, logical, and I'm very passionate and he's very resourceful. And we've been this beautiful match for 23 years. We have 2 daughters who are now 14 and 17, 8th grade and 11th grade. And that does change your career as you go. So I started out group fitness classes at multiple places. I would work mornings and nights when they were asleep or my husband was at home. And that evolved into working online early and late hours. And that evolved into university teaching when they started in elementary school. It was always accommodating. And I think that's a big word for millennial moms is, you know, if my husband's got the focused 8 to 5 career that sustains us all, how do I fit, or what are my expectations of myself, my culture, my kids? Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then your health, because my cancer was thyroid, and that affects your metabolism, your thermoregulation, and that puts restrictions on how athletic I could be. You know, what are my limits? So, yeah, no,
Okay, we didn't get names. You don't have to give the
Mhm.
girls names if you don't want to, but you know, your husband. Go
my
ahead,
husband's name is John.
John. How you doing,
And
John? Thank you for giving up, Megan, for you know, a little while to do this interview. Appreciate that, and you know, and in the years past, so appreciate that, and look forward to hopefully seeing you guys next weekend when we're in Albuquerque. So
yes,
that'll
yes,
be
that would be fantastic.
yes. And your daughter.
Um, so yeah, my daughters are Rebecca and Jennifer, and they are my sun and my moon. And you're not supposed to say that your kids are your everything, but I'm going to because they are. They're just magnificent people.
That's you know what, that's okay, and it's good that you own that, so that's totally cool. I'm going to carry this through, Megan, because we're coming up on our first break here. Okay, let me reset this, everybody.
Yeah.
Totally exciting show today, because well, I like to think that all of our episodes are exciting, but when we go back into history of our programming and the people that helped make us successful, Megan Merchant was one of those people. If you give me a minute, her story's amazing. I just wrote down a couple of quick notes here that I want to touch base in, but we're going to, again, here are the bullets that I asked my very, very knowledgeable guests to, you know, we're going to try and frame this around being a millennial mom, which we've started, balance in life, which is always there, health, emotion, and belief. So, hey, welcome to our radio program, because that just about hits them all. But the one thing that I'm going to talk about for sure and ask Megan is that word she used of expectations, because I think the expectations are so darn high. It's just unbelievable. Megan Merchant. We'll be right back. Okay. Move on. Let me go here. And then I'm going to scroll. I appreciate you just rolling with us on this thing. And it might be me doing something on our setup here.
Oh, yeah, I love retakes because it's always better. It's always better.
That was good. It was great. That was actually, you're right. I mean, it's just a warm up. So
Yeah.
your Ameriprise financial advisor and our Ameriprise financial advisor is my bro, Craig Stott. I mean, I can't say enough about the cat. Craig can help you plan for the life you want today and well in the future. That's what he's doing with us. And full disclosure, yes, we did move all of our retirement savings, because, you know, we are in the retirement zone, Sandy and I, to Craig Stiles and Ameriprise, and we're just thrilled that we did. I mean, with the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Please call Craig 1-800-528-1355. His local number, 517-483-4893. Email craig.stiles@ampf.com. His offices are located at 2400 Lake Lansing Road, Suite B as in Bism, or Brilliant, Lansing, Michigan, 48912. You can always go to the bottom of our homepage of our website, commatshow.com. And at the bottom of that page is where our sponsors have their links, and it's very simple to get to them, and it just take you directly there. So both Brock and Craig, they're there with several of our other friends, of course. And that's that. Let me mention some of the radio stations who have carried us, who carried us in the past or carrying us currently. They're all over the place. I appreciate everyone who has had us on the air. Broadcast radio is a little funny, everybody. And so, you know, I just like to be grateful to any station that carried me for like one show. I'm grateful. WGHN 92.1, always the first out of the chute, because They were the first ever carry us on broadcast radio on the lakeshore of Lake Michigan. Beautiful. Grand Haven, Michigan. Love them so much. You guys are the bomb. WJIM 1240 AM in Lansing, the flagship of the Michigan Talk Network. WJRW 1340 AM in Grand Rapids. They carried us for a long time. WKLQ 1490 Muskegon, Whitehall, all in the Michigan Talk Network, by the way. A lot of them are. WYPV FM 94.5. Mackinac City, way up north in Mackinac, which is at the very tip of the mitten up there. We got stations in the Upper Peninsula too. People have told me this. They've heard us up there. So, and I appreciate that, but I don't know their call letters, so I can't say them. And our PBS affiliate at Michigan State University at WKAR News Talk AM 870. And as I said, any stations like to carry our content, knowing that our family is talk radio, please go to the website, send us a note in the contact box, and away we go. Again, thank you, Craig. Desideri Analytics is his proprietary algorithm where we are making light of weighted decisions. That's what puts Craig over the top, everybody. And that's why we are with him. And lastly, thanking Steve and Ivy Gruber, owners of the Michigan Talk Network, for carrying us, having the faith in us to do the thing. And one last point, there's this thing called Amazon, you guys. It's on the thing called the internet, all right? And I know there's people out there going, what? No, seriously, on Amazon, we have 4 books, Generation Us being our latest and greatest. Please check that out, be aware, and that's that. Our guest today is our very, very good friend, Megan Merchant. Now, Megan's been with us in the Boomers Rock days way back in the day, okay? Calling this one, If You Give Me a Minute. Now, Megan's, as I said in the first segment, she's multifaceted, kind of working around the being a working millennial mom, and she's kind of giving you the snapshot of all that. But you know what, Megan, I want to jump back because part of being a working millennial mom is the word you used in the first segment of expectations. I think expectations, especially for women, are so darn high that it puts you, and being a father to 2 daughters, I'm coming at you, everybody, from my perspective as well as Megan's. It seems like it's very, very hard, and it's very challenging. It's a lot harder for young women and growing older women as you grow older. I think it's harder for you guys, but expectations, please talk about that.
When and it's kind of hindsight now where you can look back and go, geez, I didn't realize I was putting so much on myself because everything I did, I valued. So it doesn't feel while you're doing it misaligned, but to not do any one of those things felt, it did feel like failure. I did feel like I've got to be perfect at work, perfect at home, perfect in my health. That's exhausting. It kind of came to a head for me, as it did for many people in 2020 with COVID, to say, I am taking care of everyone else. How do I take care of myself? And as a university professor, I could look and go, I have been rehired 30 times in 10 years. Because of the nature of being an adjunct faculty. And they just, before COVID, had decided to form a union to work on that adjunct component of university culture and help, create part-time, full-time jobs for these people who teach, some universities, 80% of the classes are taught by contracted instructors. So that was one piece. Another piece was I had started my own business, and everything I did was big group classes. And at the end of class, people would say, I want to work with you one-on-one. And I'd never worked one-on-one. So I thought, well, I'm going to get my board certification in health coaching, and I'm going to get really good at one-on-one in the next 3 years. So here I am about 3 years out. I have my master's certifications, my board certifications. Right now I'm at Well Coaches doing their professional coach training. And I've always, I learned this from Ivanka Trump, who wrote in her book a decade ago, way before a lot of other things happened. You should always take a class, always at least once a week, learn something new. And I've always followed that. And it's added to my life so much. Outside perspective, connection, competency and skill, confidence. So learning is something I value deeply, but getting into a workplace who supported me financially, I don't, as I mentioned, my husband is our financial person. I went on a journey of, do I need to be a whole person on my own? If I wasn't married, what would that look like? What would I have to do? And it almost killed me trying to do everything. That was really everything. Okay, I'll get a full-time job and I'll put money into retirement and. So literally like 3 months ago, I told my husband, how about we really focus in on our strengths and just be whole together? And my big shift during COVID was, collaboration, not competition. And competition in terms of yourself. Okay, so you don't have all of these aspects. Who can fill that for you? And I hope to see more of that after COVID. You and I were talking before the show, it takes a village to run a podcast. And when I was, again, running my own business a few years ago for COVID, I was like, oh, I don't want to be a marketer and a social media person and a tax accountant and that's something that they don't talk about when you see all these messages on social media. You can do anything. Well, you can do anything. You just can't do everything at once or all by yourself. So
that was such a hold that, because I know you just and I really enjoyed that story a lot, and I'm going to carry this through. Okay, so here's the deal, everybody. Megan Merchant's with us. Megan is just a everything woman. I mean, she's just great, and she's been with us for a long time. But it's been a while since we've connected, and so it's so great. It's like homecoming with a best friend. If you give me a minute, we're calling this one Being a Millennial Mom. I've got so many notes here that I just took from that last story that she just shared with us. We're going to get back into it because I knew this was going to be dynamite. I knew it. Hey, that's my job. Okay. Not Matt Show, Megan Merchant. If you give me a minute. Mitch has been trying to tell me, and Mitch, if you're watching this video, everything I say to my guests about what Mitch coaches me on is good, but on my notes, my new notes, I'm not supposed to say, we'll be right back for some reason. I don't know. And I still do. I've done it that way for so long. I always catch and trip myself up. Okay. So that worked a lot better. We got into segment 3. For those of you who are just joining us now, in between segments, we had a little bit of a malfunction in the first recording session, and we got through it. And that's the whole thing about this, right, Megan? It's getting through these adversities and not getting all flustered and just, you've been on stage and you've done this thing. If you're going to be a pro,
yes.
You're going to break a bat once in a while. So
you learn how to reset and refire, right?
Exactly. Refinement zone. And I want to talk about that with you too. So here we go. I'm going to get this bad boy happening. Let's rock. Simplest way to connect with us is via our website, CombatShow.com, where you'll find a redesigned, simpler page. Love it. I mean, it's just been a great thing you got to keep improving these websites. If you have a small business, and you are always working, if you give time into your website, Fab Professionals help you with this, makes a huge difference. There you can find where I am putting a tremendous amount of time into our YouTube space, YouTube and our new presence, the buttons there. Please go check those out. The buttons on the website are there. Our Facebook is there, Tom Matt Show, Instagram, Twitter, any way you want to connect with us. Our mission is to build an engaged society and team. We want to connect with all of you, whichever social media is your favorite. Please drop us a note. We respond to all messaging, and we want your input. The Refinement Zone, the RFZ is all about community collaboration, cooperation, just like what Megan Merchant was just talking about, our guest today. We were talking about collaboration. The 3 C's are part of what we do, sharing stories and ideas. Please go to the RFZ channel. We just hit a milestone yesterday, and hopefully by the time you guys hear this thing, we'll be continuing to grow the thing. But 100 subscribers. One of our videos got over 5,000 views. We get all these little exercise videos there that I put on the shorts, and they're just people like them. I was telling Megan that I did a hammer curl split jump, 15-second short yesterday on YouTube, threw it up. In about 10 minutes, we had about 800 views. And by the end of the day, we had over 2,000. Kind of blows my mind a little bit, but hey, it's all good. All right. So the Refinement Zone is what it is. And then, the Tomette Show is there as well, where you can see Megan, our videos, our excerpts that I'm cutting up. It's all good. And it's working out really, really well. Again, TomMettShow.com is the best place to connect with us. All right, Megan, back to you. All right, I got so many notes. That story you just shared with us about, the whole journey of, the working millennial mom and all of that. I made a note here. Well, I made several. I loved what you said about you and John being whole together. And I'd like to kind of go with that, because I think that feeds into your next point of the balance in life. Because if you are whole, because Sandy and I went through the same thing about 10, 12 years ago, as we were kind of pre-planning the empty nest syndrome, which was coming. And that's a tip for everybody out there. When your kids are like Megan's age, you're already going through the college application process and the dreaming and all of that kind of stuff. You got to still plan about being whole together with your significant other. Go ahead, Megan. I set you up for that one. You like that?
I do. That's so true. What we do is we have these pause conversations where I can see my husband's stress rising at work, and he's been where he is for 25 years, which, I don't know who has a trick record like that in 2023, but he's really valuable. He's really become an expert in his field. He does international monitoring systems, which we all need and we want people to do. Keep an eye on our world, right? And so I just asked you.
I'm curious. I'm sorry to interrupt, but monitoring of what? Like oil wells or nuclear plants, or monitoring system?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I can say, but I will say it's the difference between seismic activity and nuclear testing.
Gotcha. Okay. That's big. So
It's
that's
big.
super cool. Okay. No, that's great. I get it. John, thank you for doing what you do, but yeah.
Right. So it's been an honor to support him and make a happy, healthy home. And I feel like my role is going out and doing what I do at home, which is just helping people do what they want to do really well. And that includes my kids, and that includes myself. How do I make and continue to have life be better? Oh, for everyone. And, knock on wood, they talk about the Caucasian, affluence and ability to do stuff. But what they don't often talk about, like we said earlier, is the expectation. I don't really have a choice to be anything but always on my game, always turned on, have no excuses, be preventative with my healthcare. If I'm not, then I'm almost seen as lesser than.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Again, sorry to interrupt you, but what you just said, do you feel like that might be a common phenomenon with women, especially working millennial moms, that they have these massively huge expectations layered on them, and people don't really acknowledge that so much? And I'm just, do you think that's common?
It didn't really hit me until about 2 years ago. I have an African-American friend who's from New York, and she's larger than life, and she had a stroke, and she had to relearn how to speak again. And when she did, she wanted to help people in the Black community to do more preventative health. And she says, what I know from, myself and my community is that we love life, we love food, we love to party, and we treat medical care like the ER is our first choice. And in hearing that and thinking about that, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't really enjoy food. I don't really enjoy people. Like all the things she said she loved in life, I thought, for me, those are all things that I should have more of. So I was like, I can help you find preventative health, but you got to help me live a little. So, yeah.
So interesting.
Mhm.
But that's so honest. And so thank you for sharing that. That's really very good, because that's the thing about the cultural changes and norms, because we live in these little bubbles, right? You
Mhm.
live in this little bubble of Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is a
Right.
big, but it's a little bubble. And in the scope of things, we just went through there, and there's a lot of people in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and a lot of traffic. And it's like, and they're are driving all over the place. But again, we live in these bubbles. And so your culture in your bubble may be this culture. And unless you embrace other people and other cultures,
Mhm.
this is the thing about being a human being and being an American, because
Mhm.
our culture throughout the history of our country, in my opinion, is to
Mhm.
always be welcoming.
Yeah.
Don't be bigoted, be
Mhm.
accepting. We have our bumpy spots. Of course, everyone does historically, but that's the beauty of our country. But we still do live in these little biased cultural bubbles, I guess you'd call them. And so that's,
We do.
yeah. And so
Yeah, and I think something people don't know about New Mexico and teaching at UNM is it's very international. And so when I taught partner-free ballroom, which I got into because it started ticking all the boxes for me about what I wanted dance to be, is I could be partner-free. If, having a partner is a barrier to doing cha-cha salsa and all these things, I'm not gonna do it. Um, I wanted to dance with my grandma or dance with my kids. It didn't have to be a romantic partner. I wanted to see every gender dancing with every gender and make it more about listen and follow instead of traditional male, traditional female. And that, having people connect and touch and feel each other and move with each other who otherwise would never come near each other was so powerful. It really brings out that sameness. Like, okay, we all have arms, we all have feet, we all have a heartbeat, we all have breath. We all can like listen and receive. That to me was where my feelings really shined. My feelings and my body were in touch. What I was missing was words, communication. I could see in Black culture that they were having a great time. I could see in Hispanic culture that the families stay together every generation and have these massive gatherings. I could see in my Caucasian culture that everyone is independent and self-sufficient and you don't ask for help. You don't rely on people. You're very logical and methodical. Um, and so part of going into health coaching is learning the words for everything I'm seeing and feeling.
okay, hold that thought, because we're going to go to break here.
Yeah.
And I want to continue this thread. So seriously, everybody, I'm going to jump right into this after we get our business stuff taken care of. Megan Merchant's with us. If you give me a minute, see what I'm talking about with her giving you a minute. If she gives you a minute, you're going to take a lot away from here. Again, going to come back, talk about that when she's discussing cultures, listening, receiving, missing words. Megan Merchant. Not me. See, I didn't say it again, and I did good. You have to reward yourself. Tell yourself you did good. When you do good things, it's like mentally you have to have that in your head of giving yourself a tiny pat on the back when you accomplish something. It's like, don't be ashamed to give yourself credit and again, just a pat on the back for the effort that you put out. And that's another reason why I like doing, I'm glad we're doing the in between the scenes and our chats between and during our breaks on the video stuff, because the radio show is great and I love the side of it. But I think that these clips between are going to turn out to be gold, because our conversations, we've had a relationship for like, 10, 12 years. And
Yeah,
so
watch each other grow.
yeah, exactly. And so it's very interesting. And so it's like, when I cut this stuff up, I like to look back and say, look at all the beautiful people we have in our life. It's like, oh my God, we got to keep doing this stuff, Megan. It's just like this
For having
multimedia
me.
is massively important. We have to do this stuff. And so
I would never connect with you being in Michigan and me in New Mexico without this social
right,
environment.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, and look, and it's still really solid and good. So it's like, okay, cool. Let's keep going. Here we go. Where am I at? Brock. That's why I write everything down. Here we go. Here we go.
We have 2 more.
2 more. I gotta read here. Yep, this is the top of the 4th. So here we go. I want to, if you're ever in looking for the real estate game, which everyone does eventually, I need you to get to know Brock Fletcher because he is the most trusted. He's one of the best. I've got little clips of him all over our Tom Matt Show YouTube page. He is our reality real estate expert. He is our sponsor of this segment of the show, and we love him for that. But again, full disclosure, just like Craig, we use his services. He was the seller agent for Big House Holt, the giant pad out there, the beautiful house that Sandy and I built together and raised our girls in. And we, and Brock with Mike Dedman, how you doing, Mikey, was our buyer's agent for Little House Holt in Lansing, Michigan. And we love it. It's so awesome. I heard Dave Ramsey say this recently, that if you think you're in your dream home, you're mistaken, because you may have like, hopefully 2 or 3 or 4 dream homes, because your life evolves. So think about that. If you're thinking about as your life is evolving, getting a hold of Brock Fletcher at our website, tommattshow.com, go to the bottom, click on his banner. Here's a phone number, 517-853-6408. You can go online to kwsellingteam.com, Google search Brock Fletcher. Here's the super secret number though. Here's the way to do it, and say you heard it from Tommy, because then he knows that it came from radio. Okay. 517-303-3262, 517-303-3262 is his cell phone. Text him. He will respond. Leave him a voicemail. He will respond. He will take care of you. He will give you advice. He will connect you with the right person, like he did for us. Because, and you've heard me say these stories, there's like 15 episodes of Reality of Real Estate. There's videos and more coming on our channels. Just go check out our people. Check out our people. Case closed. All right. Trust is our middle name, and we're all about integrity here. Tom Matt Show. Okay. Brock Fletcher. Love you, Brock. Craig. And then we got Megan. So back to the Megan story here. You know, your storytelling ability is wonderful. So I'm making all these notes here. And for the viewers, the recording people, you can see all of my notes, okay? So I got a lot of them going on here. And I find it interesting because your ability to deliver the story is great, but you were saying how you were missing your words. And so,
Right.
you know, see, I'm
That
listening.
feels very full circle because I worked really hard on it the past 5 years, and
How
I'm
did you do
very
it?
honored that it's showing up.
No, it's showing up very well. And it's like, okay, let's go down here, because now we're getting into the next bullet, you know, the balance in life thing. All of these things go together from the points you sent me, health, emotion, and belief. But help the other working millennial moms that are out there, and all the moms, and the refired moms and the refirement zone moms. Help them understand that, you know, a lot of people go through these same issues where they don't have a skill set in whatever. It could be pottery. I don't have a skill set in pottery. Okay. You were missing your words. So how did you, what was, there's never a trick. It's always about the work. What did you do?
So, you know, I kind of took a detour into one aspect of my career, which was the teaching of partner-free dance. In that particular situation, the director and I connected on education. We connected on movement. But again, at the time, there was a lot of information about how everyone should check every box for us. And I noticed, well, on the business side, we're really struggling. On the logistics side, we're struggling. You know, there was even a point at which they said, I wish you weren't married and didn't have kids, so that I would be more 24/7 accessible, flexible. And I came to this point where, am I literally being asked to choose between being a master trainer and being a family, you know? And I don't think that's what it is at all. So I'm going to come back just to what I'm responsible for, which is what were my needs. what about this is working for me and what isn't? And I think that's what women really need to ask themselves. So say, for example, you're my client, any age, woman, man, mom, you come in and you're not sleeping well. So we can look at the guidelines that say sleep 7 to 9 hours a night, but you could be an early person, a late person. You could have a 16-hour shift followed by an open day. Sleep is a guideline, and then you have to make it fit into who you are, what you need, what you value, what you can celebrate, what you can enjoy. And so if people come to me in coaching and say, I want to shift my career, you have to do a lot of work. And it really helps to have a coach to say, well, what matters most to you? Is it a lot of work or is it quality of work? Is it just a project for the next month, or is it this enduring legacy that you're creating? Is it something you're getting because you're comparing other people and what they're doing, or are you being self-compassionate? So it's a lot of work, but I love that the health coaching field is growing because we can help people navigate all these variables. It's everything all at once in 2023, right? So it's the VUCA mindset. Constant and unpredictable change is the norm. And we need supporters. We need networks. We need someone who has our full attention an hour a week to listen to us and just get us through even 24 hours. So
That was
yeah.
that was really well said. And I want to tell everybody, okay, let me reset. It's radio. Megan Merchant, If You Give Me a Minute, is our guest today. It's the title of the episode. And Megan and I go way back. Everything you're saying is it's so vitally important, and the stresses that are in the eustress, and we talked about this prior to the show, pre-production, but what you were just describing and what we talked about with our business, with the Boomers Rock Media and our show and all that stuff. I use all these freelancers and I use these contractors, and it's like you're talking about, you got to have the support, because if you try to do it all, it won't meet your expectation. Because if your level of expectation is up here, up high, then, and you don't achieve that, then you feel like I failed. And so it happens with the fitness stuff all the time, where people set these massive goals and then they stumble and then they crash and burn and they don't. But you got to have the support. You got to go to the people. I saw a post from one of my friends, Megan, today on LinkedIn, Justin Grinnell, who has a really great gym in mid-Michigan in Lansing. He just moved, and he was talking about the benefits of personal training. And for anybody out there that's looking for a really solid personal trainer and group of trainers to help you on more of a boutique end of this lifestyle thing, the choices of investing, then get a hold of a Justin Grinnell, or get a hold of my guest, Megan Merchant, who can do some virtual coaching with you, because having people like you, Megan, is so important. When we first started, I had a woman who helped me from California, who was recommended by a friend. And it made a huge difference. I mean, it got me through that first level of getting that first book done. And having somebody to give you that coaching and give you the honest thing is you're not in the circle, you're not in the bubble, as we talked about, but the coach like you has the opportunity to look at it from over here, and you can have that whole different perspective. Take a minute or so to kind of wrap that up here, and we'll go to break, and then we'll come in for the 5th segment. What do you think about what I just said?
Yeah, it's so important to not put everything on yourselves in this world. I just read a book, I think it was called Cleaning House While Drowning, that was written by a mental therapist who was talking about exactly that self-compassion. You have this belief that maybe you want your house to be a certain level of clean, but houses reset themselves every day. So how often does it have to be clean? How deep does it have to be clean? Is something that can trigger you and your stress over and over. So when you talk about having others people to help you, someone with finances, it's like, oh, taken care of, off my list.
Oh, yeah.
But if you don't have that ability or the finances to delegate, what her tip was is that if I do this, It's an act of self-care. If I wash my laundry, that is a loving act to myself that helps me out and feels good, as opposed to if I don't clean that pile, I suck and I'm shamed and I'm guilted. So, guilt is feeling bad about something that happened, but shame is making yourself and identity feel horrible. So we gotta be really careful not to shame ourselves.
Hold that thought, because I'm going to come back to the fifth, top of the fifth, and we're going to, I've got it right here, inner voice and shame. And we're going to talk about vulnerabilities and these things with my guest, Megan Merchant, Tom Matt. Today's episode is titled, If You Give Me a Minute. Megan Merchant is amazing. Her stories are so helpful. We'll get all of her contact info when we come out of break, everybody. So stick around. Megan Merchant's the best.
I love your voice modulation, Tom, how you can just, it keeps me engaged and enticed.
I am not quite sure what that means, but
Oh,
I know
the speed of your voice changes and the emphasis and it's just fun. It's playful and captivating.
you. I appreciate that. I mean, it's just it is just having fun. I mean, it's just learn to get over the. We've done this a lot. We've got a lot of things going on, and I just feel this. And I mean, I'm not trying to be woo-woo or any of this kind of stuff at all, but Sandy and I talk about this all the time. We are given a gift for however long it's here. It's okay, we're going to make the most of this thing because so many people helped me in the past to get to this level. It's it would be selfish of me not to do this, and we enjoy it. It's fun. It's good for us. So it's oh, good. All right. So you got all your info there for your plug section here. We're going to do 10 more minutes and then we're done. You got what you want to share to the audience, your contact info?
Sure. So this is a little tricky because I am full-time somewhere and I'm in school, and I'm happy to plug resources
You don't have
in your
yeah,
show. And
resources. You don't have to plug anything if you don't want to. I mean, I've had big doctors out here say, I don't want to get hit with a bunch of email. I get it. So,
okay.
So if you don't want me to go there, I'll just do my read and we'll just keep moving on, because I want to go back to the inner voice and shame stuff, because that fits really well with the health, emotion, and beliefs. Because how can you have faith if you have shame?
Right.
Right.
So
okay, here we go.
I'll talk about, okay.
Hold on. This is good. This is good stuff. Hold on. If you're a nonprofit, school, church, or youth group and need to spice it up, need some talent, go to our website, tommattshow.com. Contact box, share with us your situation. We're accepting applications, everybody, for a pro bono speaking engagements. I would facilitate a group speaking gig with myself as moderator, the host kind of cat, and get talent like Craig Stiles from Ameriprise, Financial Fitness, Brock Fletcher, Reality Real Estate, and the selling team of Keller Williams. Or maybe we get on a Zoom big screen a person like a Megan Merchant, who's our guest today, and stuff like that. We'll see if we can make it happen, but it's got to be for nonprofit. That's the whole point. It's got to be a church group, school group, community group, member collaboration community, all that kind of stuff. We want to cooperate with everyone. If you want to pay us, we don't mind money. I mean, don't get me wrong. It helps give us the freedom to do this and finance a lot of things that we need to pay for, because this stuff doesn't happen by magic. So, but basically the read is all about it's a pro bono thing, and we want to help the community. So please let us know on all that. Okay. Megan. Okay. We're going to jump back into the story here. You got anybody you want to share a shout out to, anybody, or do you want to just jump back into, because I'm looking forward to getting this last segment and talking about this other topic here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just real quick, I want to thank, the National Board Certified, or the National Board Health and Wellness Coaching Organization. They're working to get tax codes put into place for insurance companies so that people can have health coaching as part of their medical plan. So we're moving toward health care as opposed to sick care, which is huge. We're so excited.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I have to thank them. I have to thank Toastmasters, because if you want to develop your skills, find your voice, I went to them weekly for 5 years, and they were so supportive in helping me use my words to help people. And that's available to everyone in every city. You can find a club in your location, virtual or live. It's a great place to reconnect after COVID. So those are my two for now. But I'll come back and give more. I
No,
hope.
that was fantastic. And I'm really actually thrilled to hear about the insurance, the reclassification of the coaching in the insurance game, because well-being is not provided enough. We're on the reactive side of health. And okay, yeah, sure, we'll pay $17 trillion or whatever it is, $1 billion annually in the US to for healthcare issues. And yeah, oh sure, we'll accept the fact that as you grow older into your elderhood, plan on spending $200,000 to $300,000 in the last 2 years of life on healthcare issues. I mean, these are statistics, everybody. I'm not just throwing things. This is documented, and it's unnecessary. And it's like I'm thrilled to hear you guys are on that. And if I can help you guys promote that, give me a link. Let's get it going. We'll put it on the website, and whatever you want to do, I'd be thrilled to help you with that. All right. I want to jump back into, got so many notes here. Gosh, you've talked about partner-free ballroom. I mean, we've been all over the place. Being whole together with you and John. I mean, it's like, dang, your college years with all of the things that happened in college. Let's talk about inner voice, because we're at the point of the show where it's, we're health, emotion, and belief. And if you do not have faith in yourself or whatever you're going to try to achieve, it's number one on my list, Megan. Megan Merchant's our guest today, everybody. But number one on my list is faith, and faith not in a non-denominational sort of way. It's the belief that you can do it rather than that I can't. It's getting rid of limiting beliefs and having enabling beliefs. But if you have inner voice, if you suffer from shame issues, vulnerability issues, it's going to be very hard to heal. And I would love to talk to you more about this. So, and with our listeners. So the inner voice shame stuff, how do we get through that? What's the stepping stones? What's your opinion on all this?
Well, I think the big one is hearing that voice in yourself going, I'm not, I can't, or, even though I don't want to, but I should. Stepping away from that to really assess, what do I want? What can I do? What am I? What do I love about myself? Because you will compliment people around you. Something that I really came to after COVID was, I don't have a thyroid. I'm going to be on medication every day, always. I start every day taking medication. I must have had 8,000 doses since the age I was 19. That really affects your mental health. And during COVID, there were back orders, there were shortages, there were, 5 days at a time where I would go and pick up medication and wonder, first world country, this is not a big issue, but it's an issue to which your life is on hold as you navigate this. So I, shared with you a little bit that I'm going to have my spleen removed. And when I found that out, you go through as a health professional, what did I do wrong? What did I miss? I'll do everything I possibly can within my control to sleep well, eat well, move well, love well. And there are some things that are just out of your hands that you have to give up and release. To me, still to this day, to have surgeon consults, meet with someone for 30 minutes, and then have to decide if they're going to cut into your body and remove a part of you and that you're going to be okay or better than, that is insane. It's something I'm working through right now. So I have this, it's called a Sant tumor, S-A-N-T, where instead of having tubes in the vasculature in your spleen, it turns into bubbles, like a circular structure. So things start to collect and gather instead of moving through, and it enlarges. It's very benign, hopefully. but it's attached to your stomach and your pancreas. So you don't want it, to be cancerous if it is. So they're gonna get it out. And it's scary to think about having cancer again. But so when we go back to my requirement zone, being self-compassionate, like even if I did something that caused this, I can't change it. I can only go forward. I can only enjoy right here and now. But it doesn't take away the fear. So we are always both things at the same time. I'm grateful I have medication, and I'm really frustrated and tired of being medical dependent. And it's both. So we don't have to try to be or fake one or the other. We get to be both. And just breathe in between and just let it be.
That was so strong. You have no idea how strong that last story was that you just shared with our listeners. And I am so grateful that you did that, because, you've got to have a relationship with your inner voice, and you've got to just be calm when it comes to these, and you've got big things happening. And I wrote down positive self-talk. And again, it might sound kind of woo-woo-ish or whatever, but it's worked for Tom, and the people like you who I've gotten to know over the years, and I admire, and it's like, you're so talented and you're so smart, and you still have your ups and downs. It's greatness. And so when you find your village, that you have your village of people who support you and love you and will always be there for you through thick and thin. And that's it. I mean, that's where I was talking to a guy at the gym this morning about
close.
yeah, of course. But the thing is like, you got to do the best thing that you can to keep your own personal saw sharp by keeping not only the mental aspect of it, but your physical aspect and all of the other attributes that go into your life to keep you solid for your daughters, for Rebecca and for Jennifer and for John. I mean, where would they be? And hopefully you build these people so that even if we do go, when we do go, because we will all go, you have made them and given them the foundational work and the belief and the memories and all of the good things. And so, hey, I need a takeaway. We're coming up on close here. Your stories have been phenomenally great, and it's so awesome to get back with you. If you give me a moment, it's the title of this episode, everybody, with Megan Merchant. What's our takeaway? Give you the last word. We got a minute and a half to go, and I'll give you the signal when I got to cut you off. But give me a minute of what you want to take away from this episode and your conversation, please.
Well, my biggest requirement change is I'm grounded in what matters most. And that is such a beautiful place to be in my 40s. And I want to seek and attract people who are compassionate, people who care about quality, and people who are working to build a legacy and not a quick get. And I feel that's such you, Tom, Matt. Here you are decades later, creating this legacy show. And I love when I can collaborate with people and not feel like we're competing. Like everybody wins when we get together, and progressing rather than perfection. We're navigating the tricks and technology. And then let's just celebrate today, like being here, and then what's going to come, because we can't change the past. We can't. So I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm so optimistic about the future. And whenever I get scared, I navigate, what can I do emotionally to calm down, and then logistically working through the steps.
I'll be happy to help you any way I can. And I will work with you as your personal coach if you need something like that. I'm pretty good at these types of things, and having those people outside the circle that you can have the conversation with is important. And I got to wrap this thing because this flew by. If our show business group's mission, we want to be of service to you through our topics, issues, please let us know. TomMattShow.com. Always remember, before you can share love with others, you must love yourself first. Thanks to Megan Merchant. Thank you to Sandy Matt, Craig Stiles, Brock Fletcher, Mitch Anderson. Have a great week, everybody. Go out and ignite your life. Remember, Tom Matt Show is a production of Boomer Talk Media. We want to bring your story to life. Thank you, Megan, so much. Awesome to see you. We're out. Oh, that was so great.
Ooh, thank
Oh.
you, Tom.
See, and this is the thing, it's like, save that. All right, honey, you wanna come say hi? Jump on
Oh,
camera?
hi, Sandy.
Hold on.
I'm guessing that's who's there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come the other way.
You're gonna, can you get, here, you gotta get on the camera though. And people who are still watching the video here as we do this, we don't do this very often because Sandy never comes on camera, but we're not recording radio anymore. So, but we're recording video. So, there you go. Say hi to your pal.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you for all your work. I know you're doing a lot.
Oh, no, it's
Good.
gotten easier. But, oh my gosh, you look just like you did.
Always. Yeah, she looks like she's 20.
I know.
God.
You both look fantastic too. It must feel so good to be, picking and choosing what you want to do and seeing family.
It is.
We'll be in touch for here, honey. I'm gonna let you sit down because I want to go use the bathroom. But Megan and I gotta come back with some more stuff. But I'm looking forward to seeing you next Saturday. I gotta go use the bathroom real quick, but I'm gonna let Sandy sit down here and talk to you for a second, okay?
Okay, thank you, Tom. I appreciate you. Nice.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe how old your daughters are already.
I know, me too. It hits me. That's something I didn't bring up in the call is like, what am I going to do when they're gone? Which informs a lot of this work.
Yeah, I kind of thought that when Lauren got up to be kind of that age. And then I think, oh, I'm sure I always find something to do. Never.
Yeah.
But
And you are busy. So when you come through next Saturday, my daughter reminded me right after the call that we have something from 5 to 7. And I was like, oh no. So I don't know what time you're coming through, but
no worries. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So if you want to meet before or after,
Yeah.
after that, I'm literally like free all day before and after. And then her friend is getting an Eagle Scout honor for the scouting organization.
Oh, nice.
So she's the MC and I'm supposed to be the video person. And
oh, that's important. Yes.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'll get together.
We'll figure something out. Sure.
And if that happens to be your window, and in addition, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. Her name is Deborah. And Deborah, in the 70s, had a son with congenital heart defect. And that's always been a huge part of her story. And now she works with the Congenital Defect Association as a board member and doing state and national legislation. I think she would be great to have on your show.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Don't worry about that. So, here's your, she's got it. Next Saturday, they have a thing from 5 to 7. So we'll have to work around there.
We'll have to check in. We'll check into the hotel and we'll work around your schedule, however you want to do it. If you want to just, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
If we get in
telling-
earlier, we can get with you. If we get in, I'm probably anticipating that having dinner somewhere at 7 or 7:30 will be fine.
Okay.
So, maybe it's close. If you find something that's close to, we don't care about fancy. Believe me, there's
a lot of stuff close to you. So you could even look and pick something out that feels good for you.
All right. You'll just meet us there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully you can bring John.
And you said don't stay at the one by the airport, stay at the other one, right?
So in terms of order, the one closest to I-25, I-40 is probably the worst. The one by the airport is probably number 2, but the one on the north side is going to be the nicest. It's going to be the nicest part of town too. The one by the airport is probably okay, but the one north Albuquerque is going to be really nice by Century.
That one looks like it's just as easy to get to as the other one.
Whatever my
dad. About 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It'll be great. It'll be great. So excited to see you.
All right.
You too.
See you Saturday.
Tom, I was just mentioning to Sandy, I have a friend I want to connect you with.
Okay.
So if you're open to meeting her and she's open in that 5 to 7 window, I could have you guys get together and have dinner and then meet you at the end of dinner.
That'd be fine,
Um,
whatever you want. Yeah, you know me. It's just a real deal. We just show up and do the thing and, you know, hey. So yeah, if you want me to promote, like I said, anything that you need from us, we'll be happy to help out. So yeah, for sure. I'm always open to meeting cool people.
All right, awesome. Well, I'll reach out to her and ask her, and just let me know if you know what time you'll be there, and
Yeah,
we'll
I
figure it
gotta
out.
think, what time we leave, if we
It
leave
depends here.
um,
It depends on, you know, there's a lot of depends.
it's the trying to get back to 40 is from Scottsdale is gonna be, I don't know what that road's gonna be like.
Sure, okay.
We're taking the shorter route back to 40. We're not going north up 17 to Flagstaff. So we're kind of taking the state route, but we've never driven it. So we're kind of like, well, let's just roll and it'll be fine. I mean,
Yeah, it should go pretty fast. I-40
Yeah,
should be pretty clear.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you both.
Oh, thank you so much.
cool.
Yeah.
See you.
We'll see you. We'll see you. Talk to you next week.
All right, bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Right. There's just good people in this world.
Yeah, so she said this friend of hers,
Hold on. Hold up, honey. All right, I got to record this real quick, and it's just like you got the bonus footage of recording a 1.25 show, and Sandy being on video, and Megan is. We're talking about our little seeing her next weekend. So hope you guys enjoyed all of that, because we're trying to do these shorts. We're trying to give you a little glimpse into how we do this. Sandy was recording some stuff for me for our little portable setup, to kind of give you guys a visual of what we're trying to do here, because we want to be inclusive on these recording sessions and on our YouTube channels and on the radio stuff and all of it. I mean, that's the point. And having Megan Merchant, she was just so awesome. I mean, can't wait to shoot some more video with her in person for the first time ever. So never say never, everybody. Thank you so much for watching everything. If you stuck through this whole badass long, Tom probably goofed something up on my recording session. we survived and we move on. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day. We'll be talking to you soon. Check out the excerpt. We'll be back for sure. Peace out.